Hello everybody, we're back again today. My name is Kian and we are in the Coastal Seafoods production kitchen. And today we're gonna make some cool stuff using some kind of pantry staples type stuff, or things that even if you don't have, you'll have something kind of similar-ish. So we're gonna go over, this is a very versatile kind of recipe that I'm gonna do today. Super easy, super delicious, and you can do a lot of different stuff with it. Again, there's a lot of different variations. So today I'm using this really nice tinned octopus that we have. This is really, really cool. But this again would work with a lot of different types of canned seafood. In fact, you could even use a can of tuna here. That would be pretty nice. There's just a lot of different things you could kind of do with this. But we're gonna give it kind of a Spanish-y sort of twist. We've also got these really nice, beautiful fingerling potatoes, which I've just kind of sliced off into rounds. You can see here, very simple. And we do sell these, $3.99 a pound. We've got them up online, so you can order these. They're great, just kind of a multicolored potato, super beautiful, and again, very accessible. Or you could use regular potatoes. I've got them cut real thin because I want them to cook pretty fast, and the idea is to get them nice and crispy. So we almost are making like little potato chips to go along with this octopus. So again, really, really good. Really nice. So I'm just gonna let my oil get real hot here so that we can get those potatoes frying off right away. And I've just got a few tablespoons of vegetable oil. I'm actually gonna add just a little bit more. So that we can fry these off again, make them real, real nice, real crisp. And then we're gonna add in the octopus. I've got some nice Spanish roasted red piquillo peppers. This is great. If you didn't have those, you could certainly use a jar of regular roasted red peppers, or if you had fresh bell peppers, you could do that, green, red, yellow, whatever you got. There's just a lot of different ways you could sort of take this. So I'm gonna go ahead, it looks like we're doing pretty good. So check the potato. Looks like we're almost there. Oh yeah, we're good. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a handful of these into my pan and get them frying off really nice. Because nice fried crispy potatoes are kind of a great pairing for octopus. So I'm going to set this stuff off to the side for just a minute while I go ahead and start prepping our other stuff. I'm going to make sure these potatoes are all coated in oil. And you can kind of spread them out a little bit. Again, you want those potatoes to make surface contact with the pan so that they can develop that nice brown crust. So if you've got potatoes that are kind of sticking to each other, sort of just get them apart, space them out the best you can. Again, it doesn't matter too much. We're gonna make sure these are all cooked through and nice, but I got some that just wanna keep stacked. So we're good here. So I'm gonna let those just kind of do their thing for a little bit and not mess around with them. When you want nice crispy things and you're trying to develop that crust, just let them hang. That's really all you have to do. And while that goes, I've got some shallots here that I'm going to go ahead and prep. I've already got them peeled, so they're basically ready to go on that front. And I'm just going to kind of give these a rough mince. And you can kind of chop them as big or small as you want. I tend to like, for dishes like this, fairly small in size. But again, that would be up to you. So I'm just going to go ahead, just give them kind of once down the middle, and then just sort of slice like so. I've got kind of two sort of medium-sized shallots. I don't know, probably just use like 1.5-ish, be good here. Just enough to add kind of that nice sweet onion flavor to our potatoes. These look like they're frying up pretty nicely. So one of the things you can do to check is once we've got those all going on, I'm going to just give one of these that's kind of on the bottom, just a little flip to check and see. And we're already starting to get nice and brown, which is exactly what I want to happen. Again, these were not previously cooked potatoes. If you had leftover potatoes, You could absolutely do this with that. That would be really nice. So let me show you what I'm looking at here. We're starting to develop this nice sort of brown crust on that potato, which is exactly what we want to have happen. And once that starts to develop, we can start kind of moving around a little bit more, just to make sure that the other sides are starting to get cooked, and that some of those ones that maybe kind of stacked together a little bit, let me grab a towel, are doing what they need to do. Oh yeah, these are getting beautiful right now. And I'm going to hit them with a little bit of salt. I'm just kind of working on sort of medium heat here, so not too hot. If you go too hot, they can get a little too crispy, a little too quick. And again, these are raw, so we want them to cook through. And these are looking great. Again, I'm just going to kind of spread them out a little bit more into the pan. So again, they keep developing that beautiful crust that we want. Again, this is great. Just nothing like the smell of frying potatoes. One of the best things. I'm going to go ahead and add in my shallot at this point, because again, that's starting to cook off. We want the shallots to just kind of soften. Have a big piece there. So I'm going to let them sort of work and do their thing for a little bit while we prep off our peppers. All right. Oh yeah. That's the stuff right there. Smells just unbelievable. You could add some garlic to this if you wanted to. That would be very nice. Yeah, there's a lot of different directions you could take this. So these piquillo peppers, this is one of my favorite ingredients. We use these a lot in our Spanish class. If you've ever taken that, our Spanish Octopus class, there's just a lot of different things you could do with these. Including, you could stuff them with goat cheese and deep fry them. They're delicious like that. But this is probably one of my favorite ingredients and one of my favorite just overall flavor combinations. Again, potatoes, octopus, the kind of sweet, sour, sort of acidic peppers, just really, really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run my knife through these and sort of mince them off. I'm going to start by cutting them into strips. Again, these are roasted, so they're very soft. They cut very quickly. Basically ready to go. And then, once they're all cut like so, I'm going to turn them the other way and just cut them into kind of small little squares. And these are perfect. So I'm just going to wait, let those potatoes and those shallots cook a little bit more. Alright, these are looking great. So at this point, what I want to do is I want to get at some of that stuff that's kind of sticking in those pans, some of those shallots that are caramelizing a little bit. So I'm going to hit this with a little sherry vinegar. You could do this with a cider vinegar if that's what you had on hand. That would be fine. But I just kind of want to deglaze my pan and reduce that vinegar down. This is going to add a little bit of acidity and brightness to this dish, which is, again, kind of what we're looking for. So perfect. That's looking great right there. These potatoes are looking delicious. And so let's go ahead and add in my piquillos and get this all tossed together. This is looking great. It smells amazing. Cannot tell you how delicious this is going to turn out. And again, you could do a lot of different things here. Again, canned tuna would work. We're just adding it in at the end because, I mean, really it's canned seafood, so it's all already cooked. So we're just going to kind of want to warm it through a little bit. This is looking great. And you could serve this with rice. You could serve this with just some crusty bread. So I've got my octopus right here. I drained a little bit of the oil off, but kept a little bit in. because I kind of want to fry it in its own oil. So to start, what I'm going to do is I've got my potatoes and shallots moved off to one side of the pan, and I'm going to add in my octopus on the other side, and I'm just going to try to get that like a nice sear. Again, so that crust equals flavor, and that's what we're trying to develop here. It's very simple flavor. And you can see how quick this dish is cooking, because again, we thinly slice those potatoes because we want them nice and crisp. And again, we want to just develop a little bit of crust on that octopus, which will be beautiful. So today, we're doing kind of a little bit of a Spanish octopus and potatoes dish. Again, something pretty simple. And this is just using this canned octopus that we carry. I'll show you the tin. This is a Spanish product, really nice. You could do this with fresh octopus or the frozen octopus that we carry. You'd have to obviously cook the octopus down first, which takes about an hour to do. But then you could slice it and make a dish very much like this. In fact, we do this in our Spanish tapas class. I do a variation on this. You could add sliced chorizo to this. That would also be fantastic. So now I'm just going to toss this all together. This is looking great. Smells wonderful. And again, serve this with rice or on some crusty bread. This is a good appetizer, or it could be a main course. You could put, if you want to take this to some next level, you could definitely put a fried egg on top of it. Putting a fried egg on top of anything is always really good. So that's looking nice. Let's see. Shrimp on hand. Shrimp. Oh, there's so many things you can do with shrimp. Last night I made a very nice kind of almost etouffee style thing with some shrimp and some crawfish tails and some andouille sausage. Really delicious. Got a lime here. Fried shrimp is always a classic and easy to do. You can do like a simple batter for it with a little bit of lime for a little bit more acidity. Toss that. Shrimp salads are always good. You can make a shrimp roll, kind of like a lobster roll, where you just clean the shrimp, toss it with a little mayo or melted butter, and serve that on a roll. Got a little chopped cilantro here I'm going to add in. Again, just for a little greenage, brighten it up. Toss this all together. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the whole taste for seasoning thing. This is where you're going to adjust your salt and pepper if you need. Wow, that's super good. I'm going to add just a touch more salt. And we are good. Again, so we just took some really basic canned ingredients along with some potatoes and threw it in a pan, sauteed it together, and just made this real simple, almost octopus hat, if you will. Again, canned tuna would certainly work here. Some sardines would work here. You just give them a little bit of a rough chop, throw them in at the end, and you've got this beautiful looking dish. Again, rice, crusty bread, so many different things you could do and make here. Out of the pan. And I would say this makes enough for, this would be enough for maybe 2 people as an entree, or 4 people as an appetizer. Again, serve it with a little crusty bread, be really nice. I'm going to tuck in my edges just a little bit. And then, of course, let's hit it with a little fresh chopped cilantro on top. Make it all nice and pretty. I'm going to take some of my lime wedges here, which I'm going to cut. Just lime it up a bit. And then, I've got this nice yuzu olive oil. This is really nice stuff. We do carry this on the store. It is online. And I'm just going to drizzle a little bit over the top just to add a little bit of extra brightness here. Very nice. While we're at it, you can add a little bit of this into the stir-fried chew while you're cooking. I'm just garnished with a little smoked paprika. Really nice. And then I've got some really ridiculous bread that I basically deep fried in butter, which I'm gonna serve right on the side here with it. So what we've got here is we just turned a bunch of canned seafood, which is relatively inexpensive, into this super beautiful plate of food, which again, this would make a great entree over rice, or a great tapa if you were having, you want to have a little bit of a party night with you and your family. Just super easy to do, really delicious. And again, the bread I just kind of deep fried in butter. We have the baguettes online too. So all of this stuff is available online, including we'll be adding some fresh herbs here starting tomorrow. So definitely look for those. You'll be able to get some of that. It's so delicious. This is just a really great plate of food, really easy to do. In fact, going back to the shrimp question, if you had shrimp, you could use shrimp instead of octopus. Just chop the shrimp up, do your potatoes, everything exactly like I did, and then add the shrimp at the end and just saute until it cooks through. That would work awesome here. This is just a really great vessel for a lot of different things. Again, put a fried egg on top. This would be the classiest breakfast maybe ever. Just so many different great things you can do, and I love it. Again, doing dishes like this, easy, cheap, and just really delicious. You don't have to sacrifice on flavor by using kind of cheaper ingredients. Again, the octopus is a little bit more expensive than, say, a can of tuna, but you know, it kind of depends. These are all good things to have on hand. You know, build up your pantry for those nights where you just want a quick little dinner, something good, delicious, that's easy to make. Again, this is one of those like building your pantry kind of dishes. Get your olive oils, get your vinegars, you know, just over time you build and collect these things is the idea. You don't have to go all out at once and buy everything in order to make the one dish. You just build up that pantry, and then when you've got a craving for something, it's okay, I have some sherry vinegar, I have some nice olive oil, I can do this. I've got potatoes, I've got some cans of seafood. Again, whether it be tuna, clams would work. There's some really beautiful canned clams that we sell. Mussels would work. Again, so many different things that you could do here. Just whatever your canned seafood of choice is, with some fried potatoes, some shallots, and a little bit of pepper, and you're good to go. Again, really, really delicious. So this is great. Again, we've got a lot of other features going on right now. We've still got some beautiful swordfish. Somebody just asked me about. That's $13.99 a pound. We've got our ahi tuna for $21.99 a pound. So we've also got a lot of fresh fish. So again, this would be a great way to start a meal. Start here and then go into your swordfish steak for dinner, or however you want to do. So many cool things that can be done. I can't recommend canned seafood enough for stuff like this. I know some people are kind of turned off by the idea, or they're used to their grandpa's sardine cans, which again, those can be great if you know how to use them. I mean, if you like them right out of the can, by all means, snack away. But if you're not super into that, they're still not a bad ingredient. There's just ways to work it, especially something that's real oily like a sardine. You can add some acid to, and that'll brighten it up, cut through some of that fat, and make it a lot more palatable. So again, there's a lot of ways to really approach that, and you really should try. Again, right now it's a great time to test out some canned seafood recipes. Smoked seafood also works. You could do this with a smoked salmon. Just flake off some smoked salmon in there. It would be really delicious. So again, tons of cool things to do. Highly recommend giving it a try. There's no reason not to. Okay, super delicious, super great. Good party snack, great full entree. However you want to do it. But thanks again so much for tuning in. This has been super fun. Again, we're having a blast doing all these cooking videos. And yeah, we'll do it again tomorrow. We'll have some more fun stuff for you. And yeah, get all your questions ready. Again, we're always happy to answer questions. So hit us up. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow.